Every story has its heroes, some born to the calling, others forged in the fire of chance. We have met them. Now that we know the heroes, it's time to meet the villains. The first one we need to speak of is one that came from another universe, a broken soul, stitched together with hatred and vengeance, wearing a crown forged in fear. Later, a suit to contain the same wounds. This is the story of Queen Lilith. The story began long before she was called Lilith. She was simply Liora. One night, soldiers fell upon her village. They burned and they butchered. Parents, friends, everyone except her. She slipped away and came to a sullied pond, and there she wept, not yet able to understand. And then she received a visitor she would never forget. His dark voice was an anomaly, something mortals could not comprehend. He was Orpheus. With the disguise of kindness, he charmed his way into the mind of the vulnerable Liora, poisoning her heart with hate and her soul with vengeance.
I don't know magic. I don't know anything about this.
You know more than you think. Tell me your dreams. Tell me how often you know what a person will say before they say it. Tell me how quickly you map a room. Tell me about the moments when you feel yourself standing one step to the side of your own body.
With his smooth, thought-provoking words, he cradled the mind of young Liora like a parent to a newborn.
Fire on it tonight! Oh, look at it burn! Like sheep from the shearer!
Yes! I did it!
These are the men that killed your family. Get what you want. Get your revenge.
I'm no killer.
Ah, you want me to have all the fun? Well then, I will! Ever disappointing. Thought they'd fight for the bargain. Turns out their statute is already debt collected. Of course we can leave them. We can decide that your mother and father died for nothing.
Yes. And now you are who you are supposed to be. Lilith.
Which of you addressed me just now?
I did, madam. I meant no...
Madam, I am Queen Lilith. Too late. Ash is a better fitting tongue for insolence. Does anyone else wish to forget their place? I thought not.
Lilith was taken from her dominion, like everyone in her land, torn from it, and put here, on the place they call Earth. Stripped of a throne, she learned new masks, forged her empire in boardrooms instead of throne rooms. Yet exile burns. Behind that stillness, a mind searches every hour for the fracture that leads home. And that is the story of Queen Lilith. And now we move to the next, the story of a young boy turned hardened soldier. This is the story of Tomokaari. In another shard of the glass, a boy draws his first breath beneath twin suns. He is Ngwe born, blood of exiles and warriors. Around his cradle, a copper city burns with dawn, jade spires humming with future light, green leopards of alloy frozen in eternal patrol. They name him Tomokaari, a name borrowed from the storm, hoping it will never break loose. Years later, two brothers stand at the heart of Ngwe, a nation radiant with sun and circuit. One wears the crown, the other carries a ledger, each line a secret price, ready to trade the soul of his people to hands that have never bled for them. When that treachery is brought into the light, vows shatter, blood is asked to speak. Spears cross beneath the amber sky, sparks fall like dying stars. And before the boy's eyes, the Leopard King, Tomokaari's uncle, Wembile, strikes down his own brother, and the storm they named Tomokaari feels the world tear. He turns his back on the banners and proverbs that wrapped his father's death in honor. Through root and rain he runs, feet carving grief into the mud, carrying more sorrow than any child should be asked to lift. At the edge of that exile, the universe opens a seam, a wound of blue light, and beyond it a city of thunder, sirens, steel, and sky. He steps through. Ngwe falls behind. The wound closes. The boy is alone. No one marks his arrival, only watch. On streets where sirens sing louder than lullabies, he learns that fear is a currency and survival is its interest. Gangs first, protest lines next, then uniforms, then mercenary contracts. Each new flag promising meaning, each one asking for more of his soul in return. So follow him now, beneath the quiet lights of a museum built to remember what the world tried to forget. A stranger in style that exemplifies the very culture everyone is looking at approaches.
Sir, can I help you with anything?
Nah, I'm just taking inventory of what got lifted from us. Every blade in this glass got a story the world tried to erase. Our iron, our gold, our designs, they profited off all of it. Wrote it into empires, then turned around and called us primitive.
In another breath, flames will climb these walls into a night that never bothered to learn their names. Understand this, he was not born as you find him. He was made. And in this telling, he answers to one, Tomokaari. Turn now to the one called Kael'Jacks of Vanyr Prime, and to the shadow that moves at his command, the Obsidian Veil. Within a drifting arc of ice and obsidian waits Kael'Jacks of Vanyr Prime, last of the Vanyrian titans. Vanyr Prime was once a lattice of emerald seas and crystal spires, a world ruled by quiet equations and patient minds. Then the Vanyrian forged their bodies into colossi of basalt and gold. But power does not fracture from the outside first. The first cracks came within the core ranks. In war rooms beneath the mantle, eyes stopped seeing colleagues and began seeing threats. Words failed. Equations became strategies. Strategies became strikes. Vanyrian turned against Vanyrian. Their civil war did not burn for mere seasons or generations. It stretched across centuries, then longer still, thousands upon thousands of years. By the time the last campaign ground to ash, there was no victory to claim. Neither side had truly won. The veins of Vanyr Prime ran dry. Its seas grew thin and metallic. The planet began to shudder. The Threnian followers of Kael'Jacks, the Obsidian Veil, were the ones who still bent the knee to their warlord. They gathered their leader and their vessel, the Black Halo, and escaped the dying planet. It was decided that they would sleep in cryostasis. 6 chambers of tempered ice, carved for warriors who would not die, only wait. No helm set for any star, no harbor awaiting them, just a trajectory away from the blast. But time is a river, not a wall. Sooner or later, every current bends back toward shore. In the Prime timeline, the Black Halo would find itself near the planet called Earth, the Obsidian Veil, Vaynor, Nisra, Kael'Jacks, Falgor, Zephyros, Dravian.
Hey you! Yeah you! I'm Dravian. This reboot better be better than the last time. They had me freezing my ass off in the snow. I told them I was going to...
As I was saying, they would awaken. Kael'Jacks saw this blue and green sphere and decided that it would be the new Vanyr for him to rule as the last Vanyrian.
The planet has been surveyed. It is a viable planet for our needs.
A precise report, Vayner. Hold position. Our hour draws near, and this world will remember our arrival.
So stands Kael'Jacks, and around him, the Obsidian Veil. The next villain you have seen. In other histories, in other masks, he is the one they will call Orpheus. Our next villain was once just a boy named Tamas. The village knew him only as the seamstress's child, a foundling left on their doorstep, wrapped in rag and morning dew. They built his first cradle the way they built their sails, strong, plain, made to endure without a father's hands to teach snares or lures. So he learned softer crafts instead, how to close a wound in cloth, how to listen for the mood of fabric as it shifted under needle and thread. The night that marked him was, at first, like any other. The air tasted of iron and wet earth when she stepped from the dark.
You will become who you are to become the night the moon bleeds.
She bore no eyes, yet saw further than those who had watched 1,000 dawns break. He named it madness. He named it a dream. But years later, when Thomas stepped from the loom-lined lane and heard the scream, the memory of her words followed. He did not hesitate. In the struggle, the attacker's lifeline opened, and its red river painted a crude sigil across Thomas's brow, slid into his eye, and burned like molten glass. When he looked up through that stinging veil, the moon above him was bleeding, rimmed in crimson, just as the seer had promised. He did not mean to find the other thing. A misstep on the village path, a fall, palms skidding through dust. Beneath his hand waited a shard of obsidian, thrumming with veins of crimson and deep violet. When he lifted it, the world unfolded. What had been, what was, and what might yet be, all layered atop one another like threads on a loom. The weight of such sight does not leave a man unscarred. The whispers did not stay a single voice for long.
Not native woven from shadow. There are worlds stitched just to show you.
Night after night they multiplied, growing edges, gaining shape, until sound itself began to coalesce. Beyond his fields, it murmured, there were other fields. Beyond his sky, other skies. It spoke of wars and distant kingdoms he could never have named, of pacts sealed in blood and starfire, of doors that only open for those willing to pay. It offered him secrets, and like all such bargains, the price was never spoken plainly. In time, Tamas would take another name. He would become Orpheus, shadow made flesh, tenebrous given a tongue. Whatever bargain he struck it for himself first, and the world a very distant second.
You talk of the spell that will rip all from this land. But what am I queen of then? Who will I become in this other world? What becomes of the great Queen Lilith?
Ach, me dearie, have a bit of faith, will ye? I'll see to it my lovely Lilith lands on her feet. It has to be done, don't you see? I've watched the threads myself. It must happen this way.
Orpheus, who once was Thomas, now walks the prime timeline wrapped in a courteous mask, hiding in plain sight as Thomas Supero, Esquire. These are but 4 among the many villains our heroes will meet in the prime timeline. I have watched their stories spool out an uncountable number of times, each thread crossing the next in familiar patterns. And yet, each telling leaves room for a single, quiet question. Will this time be any different? We shall see.